Serenitatis. This is what's around it. There's a part of green, very green objects that at times look like trees, but tend to think maybe structures, but it's on a green surface, illuminated areas like this, with this beautiful, 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 massive structure that you're going to see again around Mare Serenitatis. But this is just before we go to the base, massive military base, most definitely. And I found something that looked like an anchor or an arrow, perfect arrow with a circle at the end of it, longs a massive bridge of a couple hundred kilometers, and of course, always depending on the size of the moon, right? If uh, if what NASA says the moon is its real size, well, it is a massive. Even this complex would be massive if we can see it. But that's if it's 300 some kilometers away. So what happened if many years ago they say that the moon was like what 15,000 kilometers from Earth? How would the terrain be on the moon then? And would we have a chance of seeing its color of the surface, seeing that it's only 15,000 kilometers away? Do we see color 15,000 kilometers up over Earth? Probably not. Probably be right out into space, most definitely. But these structures, this one here in particularly, is another proof, guys. It's beside Mare Serenitatis, like right between Mare Tranquillitatis and Mare Serenitatis. Um, Fecunditatis is where we're seeing the structure coming up. Mare Fecunditatis. Imagine yesterday me trying to clarify the base, and here I've already clarified it in about 10, 15 videos. I thought this was a second base, but it wasn't. The first base I found was actually this base. And it's a long story, and making a long story short, these are the dome lit lights that we see on the surface of the moon. What do you think of that? It's clarified. The light's been dimmed down into it, and I've also X-ray shotted it. And we can see here, look, guys, you see that? The dome is filled with these little structures, these worm-like or tunnel-like structures. And it's exactly, here it is. This is exactly what's clarifying the moon, I think, is keeping the moon basically lit up. But for what reason? Is it only for camo? I don't think so. It could have several reasons. Is it part of a system that the entire moon is lit and connected, like we can see here? Now, a better view, much better view. To the left, we can see that bridge that we're seeing yesterday in Mare Fecunditatis. So now we see an overall massive long bridge or some kind of contraption, but it leads off to many other structures, and we can see them clearly here. But those lit areas at the back, guys, are massive cities, or I don't know, a massive light bulb on the surface, natural light bulb or coral-like being, thinking out of the box all the time. You never know. I'll tell you one thing. It's a lot clearer than it was yesterday. They are structures, but these really intrigue me. Now, what do you think of that? It's just amazing seeing structures. I can even see geometrical shapes. They're not just tunnel structures. These lights, there's cities inside of them. You can see that there are structures inside of them. Everyone can. We can see them clear enough. The haze that's over top here, hiding all these levels that go inwards. My goodness, I don't know if there are 30, 40, 50 levels, but it does go down deep, and it must be really cold down there. Or maybe not. Well, I tend to think the depths and the temperatures here on Earth in the craters are basically identical to the temperatures on the moon. It's what I'm thinking. But I think that the temperatures on the moon are not felt the same way as we feel the temperatures here with the ozone layer that we have. Firmament, I guess we call it the ozone layer. But is there an ozone layer? Has anyone been to the ozone zone? I, you know, There's been a lot of stuff they've been shooting at us that we're supposed to believe and take in here. And here's an X-ray shot of the structure, the massive, massive structure. And seeing the green there, that's where everywhere you see green, guys, is where it's usually white on the surface, so that you know, because this is an X-ray shot. Everywhere you see white, and look at the clouds now that are depicted differently and a part of these lit domes. You see the white light? It's not the white light. There's clouds or something that's around it. You see it? And the cloud and the structures are amongst them. And look at the green down here. Those are lights that are hiding beside the structures to blind us. The light is reflecting back in our faces. We can't see anything. The telescopes can't see anything. The pictures can't be taken. Cameras can't take pictures. But you bring it down and you get a photo like this, and people complain and say it's blurry. But in reality, we're seeing structures. It's what we want to do is see structures. I'll clarify it the most I can. You don't worry, you guys. I'll get some nice shots. But it's proof. We need the proof, right? That way I can get some money from funding to get the telescope. And this is what we're going to do. We're well over $3,000 already up into, we're up to 3,074 now, I believe. Thanks to Penny Jones and Xavier Perkins. The people of the world deserve an explanation now, so we're waiting for NASA's explanation. It's coming soon, end of August, I'm sure. Bright light on top, underneath, coming down. Look at the pathway here. And all in between the structures are these white purple rock like, tunnel like, worm like objects. There's more paths going to the lights there. So the entire white at the top is these structures, and I took the light completely down. And yeah, it's clear as day. You can clearly see it. Now look at this here. Looks like an arrow or an anchor or an arrow with a circle at the top. I don't know. It's the Avon sign. The Avon ladies are on the moon. I don't know, but I mean, there's signs there, guys. We got to look at these things. There's an arrow there, literally an arrow. But you know what's interesting? Between the structures, they're putting this white stuff that's used as camel, guys, and it's blinding the entire surface. Look, you can't see these levels, guys. I'm right in Mare Fecunditatis. Come on! Fecunditatis, whatever you want to call it, it's there. We can see it. There's the proof. One of the longest paths on the moon, give me that anyways, that I found, I mean, is there. And these light sources and that massive light source at the top, you can see these purple rock-like structures inside of them. Watch carefully. Look, an anchor. Um, an anchor or an arrow with a circle. Have you ever seen that sign before? An anchor near what looks like a bridge and dams, or which is blue, by the way, underneath. What are these nuclear reactors? Makes you think, guys. Look at the connection. Top right, the lights, the green, are connected to the bottom. We think it's a bridge. It's a connection. It's like a power source line that's connecting in the center of it. See the top? We're going to see it again here. At the top, that dome light there that's beautifully bright is connected in unison there. This is an X-ray shot of what looks like a bridge that we can see coming down like a source connecting them all. And we can see structures amongst this. This white uh, that we see on the moon at the north side, and look amongst the structures, there's more white like we see that are in big patches on top, but the little patches are still very bright. And whether they be energy sources or companies or fusion smoke or something, a fusion fire, sorry, um, are Are these bridges, or are they connecting all the lights? All the lights, we don't know the reason why there are lights on the moon, but could they all be connected? Yes, plugged in basically. And if not using wires, whether they're using beams or whatever technology they have, there are many ways to create energy. We all know that, even us here on Earth, with our human brains, imagine what they could do if they're a lot more advanced than us. And, you know, I'm basically coming to the reality that we're a primitive race and it's like, blah, okay. We're just over monkeys, guys. It's basically what's going on. We think of ourselves so highly, and it's normal because it's what we were taught in history, right? We were taught that, Einstein and which unfortunately I don't think his theories were right, but nonetheless, you see, Einstein was really into Isaac Newton's theories, and well, there was a problem. Here's the anchor that we can see here, or arrow, more of an arrow probably, but nonetheless intriguingly amazing. The light sources between and amongst all the structures serve as also a massive major camouflage. You can clearly see that they're all amongst these um, anomalistic objects, whatever they may be. Maybe it's a massive grounded light bulb, a light system on the surface of the moon that keeps lights lit up facing upwards with no covers on them to blind everything and anything overhead so that the alien species or humans on the moon um, they can move freely underneath these lights. You understand? You can move giant objects, guys, underneath these lights, no matter what your color. No, they don't walk around with fireworks and deliberately flash lights, but they can walk freely under these lights. We can't even see the lights, but this is the best I can do. Someone asked me this week, work on the domes. There you go, guys. These lit domes are just all this jumbled tunnel-like. Maybe it's a natural light on the surface. Maybe it's a natural tubing. Maybe it's an unnatural tubing that was created to light up the entire surface. Not because I want to talk about this, because I'm seeing it right here in these many levels. And what we think here are bridges and stuff, or ways to get around on the surface. I think they get around inside the surface, and what we're seeing on the surface is an actual power source connection. Any tunnel or line that we are seeing is an unnatural made connection, like we're looking at right here in this
Massive
area of the
arrow
moon.
right there. And look what's at the end of the arrow. The bridge. It's a real arrow on the ground. Bridge and other roads and pathways. Now guys, I'm getting it a lot clearer than it was. So this is good signs. Trying to compensate for yesterday's video. Look.
So it's proof. It's there. You can see it. You see the purple structures in the lights. What can I say? Lots more to come, guys. Here are the mentions to the creditors. Miss Penny Jones, thank you very much, not only for contributing a wonderful $20, but for being part of the community. Penny, she comments on all the videos, and Penny, we talk about space and we know what's going on, right, Penny? Thanks again, my dear, and I really appreciate it. And thanks for contributing and being a part of this community. Welcome. Love from Canada.